What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back. My name is Verdict and thank you so much for stopping by. Now let's go through this really quick because we just got yet another change to Gyfin Elvia. So before we start this video, the creator code event is still up and running when purchasing your pearls off the NA/EU website for the client. It really helps a ton, guys. I get a cut every time you use that code. It's the best way to support the channel. Now let's move towards the changes that landed on Korea out of nowhere. So they are buffing the Rhutums camp, Giant's base, and Quinn Hill. Let's go through these very quickly. So in terms of the Rhutums camp, they're essentially increasing the trash by about 75-80% depending on which mob you're killing. The density there is rather different, and they're increasing this basically on every single mob over there. And Rhutums means that essentially the spots are going to start pushing more towards trash an hour rather than hunting for these despairs that will define the hour, hunting for the black distortion earrings that will solidify your hour. So in general, this is for the first time ever I see Gyfin Elvia being addressed by Pearl Abyss appropriately, because it's not buffing despairs, it's not buffing distortions that is going to fix the spot, because that inherently affects Hex Sanctuary from the despairs in particular, or basically the other spots with the black distortion earring from the lower Gyfin Elvia region. So with that being said, next one is the Giant space, and the Giant space is absolutely broken now. From 1 and 2 to 3 and 5, or in other words, anywhere from 100 to 125% increase in trash an hour. For the Giant, Giant Brawler, Giant Combatant, this is pretty much all the basic mobs over there. They have slightly nerfed the Agris over there, obviously it should be, but let me tell you how important this change actually is. People, I don't think they will understand this. Let's go into the Primal Giant post over here. So if they're buffing this by 120-ish%, let's just say 120%, this means that officially the Primal Giants post is the new Orcs camp. Or in other words, this spot will actually go above and beyond broken. I don't think this will actually go. I think they'll balance this out next week. I don't believe this. I don't believe this literally being launched into Korea like that with a snap of a finger. It's ridiculous. So in other words, well, keep an eye open for Primal Giant post, guys. Next thing is the Quinn Hill change, which is essentially probably it's like something like 60%, 70% increase in trash an hour. It's good, right? Quinn Hill, still nobody would farm there because the spot will still define your silver an hour based on the despairs. This is not enough change, at least in my eyes. The spot still requests you to commit 60k plus. 60k plus Agris on a good hour, and I don't think it's worth even going there even with this change. And let's talk about the Gyfin Temple. I am pissed. I am pissed because they have increased the number of trash that drops from the Butcher. I think the Slayer is translated into Butcher. Don't treat my word as gospel for this one. The translations are very vague. 100%, essentially 100% off the Butcher, 100% off of the pieces of despair, which is the small guys that swarm after you kill the fragment of despair, and the number of junk loot has been increased by 50% from all of the blue, the purple, and the red guys. At least this is what I'm kind of getting from this. Not entirely sure if the vaccine tube is the flamin'. Not sure the border guard is the blue one or the Gyfin destroyer. No, the destroyer is actually the destroyer, but nonetheless, this is an interesting change. I don't like the fact that they're emphasizing onto the despair event at all. I think the despair event is bad. I think the despair event is abusable. I think it right now setting up your hour for a despair before you start there is going to be more important than it ever was. I don't want to see any emphasis on the despair. In fact, if you ask me, just my opinion, I want the despair removed and I want the Butcher to be the emphasis of the spot, so that you can actually have legit RNG onto the spot rather than have controlled abuse onto the spot. Like people that set up their despairs, they go there to push, to prove a point, etc, etc. I don't like these. And of course the Dehkia has been buffed. The Oluns are having up to 100% increase depending on which of the trash you're killing. Probably this will be only for the big guy. No, it's actually Colossus of Rock and Dominable Colossus. Not sure which ones these are, but Dehkia Oluns, I don't think this will make that much of a change since it's not for all of the mobs. I think it'd still be a meme. Primal Giants apparently will be busted, and we'll see if this lands next week or the week after. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.